Tiny houses are fascinating. Not having a bunch of extra stuff is a freeing feeling. Building it in a way that gives you exactly what you need in the most efficient and logical way. It drives my mind. A place for everything and everything in its place. And if you're a tiny house lover like I am, consider this. A super cheap tiny house that's already built that can go places for free. Let me show you. When we look at tiny house builds, $60,000, maybe $100,000, or a van build or a skoolie, 30 grand, maybe 50, the downside is obvious. Upfront cost is a big sum of money, and tiny living people, more often than not, don't have the cash up front, but do have another resource: labor. Give me something super cheap I can live in right now, and I'll spend a few years fixing it up. What if you could buy something very cheap that's sort of already built? It already has walls and a bathroom and a bed. The construction phase is already done. All you have to do is move in and start fixing it up to make it better. This is what brings me to sailboats, because not only are they already ready to live in, they can be super cheap, and once you fix them up, you won't have to stay parked somewhere forever. They can take you places. I lived on a sailboat for years, and I know how amazing tiny living is. I spent about a year outfitting that sailboat to be exactly what I needed for tiny living. Big solar panels, a fridge freezer, a nature's head, a custom queen-size bed. And then I sailed it to warmer places, and so can you. A few things to forget about, though, right now. But, Tim, I don't know how to sail. It looks really hard. It's not. Sailing is actually very easy to learn. They teach kids how to do this stuff. But you don't have to learn. Not right now, anyway. Worry about that later. Let's get the boat happening first. Old rich dudes will say, that boat isn't good enough to be out in the ocean. Good. We're not going out of the ocean. We're building a tiny house. Jam it. But how will I get insurance? A skoolie is hard to insure. Sailboats don't need insurance. There's no legal requirement to have it. Some marinas, especially those with haul-out lifts to take the boat out of the water, will want you to have some sort of insurance, but that's just liability, which is very easy to get on a sailboat. Insurance won't actually be a problem, and way, way cheaper than insuring anything that drives down the road. Where will I keep it? Isn't owning a boat really expensive? Not really. The cheapest people anchor out. They find a nice spot with good protection from the prevailing winds, they drop the anchor, and they live there for free. If they get bored, they move. Anchoring is usually free, and you can do it just about anywhere. Want to live in the Florida Keys? No problem. People already do that. You use a dinghy to get to shore, and your home stays put right where you left it. You can rent a slip in a marina, though, if you want to be a bit fancy. You'll be plugged in. You'll have unlimited water and access to the dock and land whenever you want. But there is a monthly cost, and not every marina is going to allow liveaboards, but a lot of them do. But when you find one, the monthly cost will be way, way less than the rent cost in whatever city you're looking at. Here's an example. Titusville Marina in Florida. I've been here. It's really nice. It has a monthly rate of $400 for a 30-foot boat with unlimited electricity and water, and it's a nice place for $400 a month. And there are a lot of marinas like this all over the place. So say 10 grand for the boat, get it to Titusville and live for $400 a month. It really can be that easy. So let's look at some boats. The mission here at Lady K Sailing has always been to get more people sailing more easily. A big shout out to the team of people who are patrons, people who give a couple of bucks an episode to make this all possible. If you'd like to help support the mission with me, please consider becoming a patron. The smallest thing I'd live on is about 30 feet. You can go smaller if you're so inclined, but this video is aimed at general tiny house enthusiasts like me, so 30 feet it is. Big enough to live on, small enough to be super cheap. And the super cheapest option of them all is probably the Islander 30. You can find these everywhere, and well, this person wants 15 grand, you can easily find these for 10, maybe even less. And don't be scared away. This is our cheapest boat. They get much nicer as we go. This boat may be from the 70s, but don't worry, sailboats are made of fiberglass and it tends to last a very, very long time. The Islander 30 was a very well-made, solid boat in its day, and you'll still find tons of them for sale, which says a lot about their longevity and their build quality. They sail fairly well and have a good-sized cockpit, or for the tiny house folks, the outside patio area. This is where you drive from too, but this is where you relax. You add some cushions and you watch the sunset every night from wherever you happen to park. Inside, you'll get a full-on tiny living space that's already been built. A dinette that drops into a bed, just like an RV. Opposite, a couch to sit on or sprawl out and watch TV. You get a kitchen, or a galley as we sailors call it, already equipped with a stove and an oven. This boat gives us a small sink and an ice box beside it, which many boats have as a fridge, built right into the counter, and it'll be a top loader because heat rises. Opening from the top lets heat out while the cold stays in. It's more efficient that way. When you open a front-loading fridge, the cold spills out on the floor. Top loading is significantly more efficient, and we like efficiency. Up front in most sailboats is what we call the V-berth, which I'm sure you can figure out the reason for that name. It's usually a small bedroom like this, and we get a bathroom. This boat has a Jabsco pump toilet. Basically, it uses seawater from under the boat to flush, and it all goes into a black tank, like an RV. And you can pump it out about once a month if you live on it. This is very livable space for a tiny house person, and what you get here for the 15 grand the seller is asking, in tiny house land, this is a lot. You could find one of these in your area, rent a slip, plug it in, and start living on it today. It's ready to go. Then spend your time, instead of building, you'd spend your time making sure it's seaworthy, the engine runs. Oh, right. These have engines, usually right here under the stairs. You can drive this thing around like a little powerboat all day long. You don't ever have to sail it. Like I said, let's worry about sailing later. Live on it today, and then work on your solar, your batteries, all the fun tiny house stuff as you go. Drive it around on the engine, and when you're ready, start learning to sail. If you live on a sailboat for a while, you're gonna meet some sailors, and we're always happy to go and teach people how to sail. Don't worry about it. You'll figure that out later. So the Islander 30 is easy to find for 10 grand, maybe less. But what if we spent a bit more? Let's say 20 grand. Well, you get a 20-year newer boat. Here is a CS30. My friend has one of these, and he loves it. More modern, more stylish, and definitely a better tiny house. Outside, we get a bit more space, but the same general principles. But this CS is actually a very good sailing boat. When you learn the sailing part, this boat is fast, it's well-mannered, it's a lot of fun. Much more so than the Islander we looked at. Headed inside, we start to see the difference between the price tag on these boats. The kitchen or galley is very nice. This boat has a fridge already in the icebox area with a freezer compartment. This boat has nicer upholstery, nicer finishes. It's brighter and a better place to be. And while we don't get an RV-style drop-down dinette to sleep on, we do get places to sleep. And we get this desk to work from. We get the V-berth forward bedroom, which is big enough for adults on this boat, and a bathroom with a shower that's just big enough. And this space in the back of the boat, we call it an aft cabin. It should have a cushion here, and it's big enough to sleep another adult. So you could have a couple up front and another person in the back, a 2-bedroom. And this one has an engine too, a Volvo. This is a nice boat. The CS30 was already an excellent boat, very well made, and you can find them for around 20 grand. A great way to get the 30-foot job done. But what would I buy? Probably a Catalina 310. These you'll have to fork out 40 or 50 grand to get your hands on one, but let me show you what that gets you. This one is from this millennium too, and that's a very good start. It's also a very good sailboat. Modern, lots of windows, lots of space. Inside we get an even better galley, a fridge freezer, a stainless sink, a 2-burner stove with oven. The fridge this time is top loading, but also has a front door too. It's kind of the best of both worlds. We get a desk that flips out to save space, and more importantly, we get a bed in the back. This is rare for a 30-footer, but that's about a queen-size mattress laid sideways. This would be a very roomy place to sleep. This is a very nice boat. It's really beautiful in here. Same style Jabsco toilet with a shower in the bathroom. A nice chill area, and then forward, a proper bedroom in the front. This is what we call an island bed, even though it's a peninsula. But the point is, you can get in and out from either side. How many van or skoolie builds have a bed that you can get out of without climbing over your partner in the middle of the night? Island bed. This is beautiful. Lots of storage, lots of space, lots of boat. 40 to 50 grand, and you have an already built tiny house that's basically ready to go. And go you can with the engine, or start learning to sail. There's actually one of these 30-footers for sale right now in New York. We did a video about it because it has a brand new engine. This boat is a screaming good deal. The video's over on the Practical Sailor channel. I'll leave a link. You should go watch it and buy that boat before somebody else does. A brand new engine. Now, all that sounds easy, but there are some big things to watch for. This tiny house is obviously a boat. What's the number one rule of owning a boat? Don't sink. Keep the water out of the boat. Luckily, you can get a survey before you buy a boat. It's like a home inspection before you buy a house, or an automotive safety before you drive a car. You pay the survey person, they come to the boat, and they go over it with a fine-tooth comb for hours. And they give you a whole report on what's wrong with the boat, all before you ever buy it. And if you don't know anything about boats, get a survey. Beyond that, you really can learn everything you need to know about owning a boat right here on YouTube, the same way you learn everything else. This whole channel is about learning about sailboats. Subscribe, like this video, and please leave a comment today. Let's convert some of these tiny house people to boats. On a more personal note, for the long-time viewers of this channel, I love you guys so much, and thank you for giving me this amazing life where I get to do this stuff. I'm actually starting a new project, and I'm kind of terrified. But terrified is good, right? It means we're stepping outside our comfort zone and growing, or something. Making these Lady K videos, and now my work at Practical Sailor, feels like my calling, and I need to be around more boats if I'm going to do this, to keep bringing you content in these places, Lady K and Practical Sailor. And Practical Sailor loves to send me places. By the way, Annapolis in a couple weeks for the show. I'll be there. And I don't want to go world exploring on a sailboat again until my daughter goes off to college. So I'm sort of stuck for a few years. Or am I? I need a way to travel at a moment's notice to wherever the sailboats are, wherever you guys are, like Annapolis or Florida or Kima, Texas, or California. And I'm not a big fan of airports or hotels. I'm too independent. I don't like Uber. So I did what crazy people do. I bought a box truck. I know it doesn't have sails and it might not float, but what better way to get around to where the boats are right now than to bring your own hotel room to drive it there? I can zip out to Florida for a week or Annapolis for the weekend anytime I want this way. And I can build it entirely myself. I can keep it stealth on the outside, a total mobile office on the inside, Starlink and solar panels on the roof. And I'm excited. This means better content for Lady K and better content for Practical Sailor and a new project for me. And yes, of course, I'll be filming the adventure. That's the first thing my friends asked. Because of course I will. I've actually already started. There's a YouTube channel out there called Charlie the Truck, because his name is Charlie, which I'll explain later. If you're interested in watching me build a stealth camper mobile office box truck, I hope to see you over there. If not, that's okay. I'll see you here next week. Until then, keep the heavy side down, but not too far down. I love you guys.